What is up, DTube, library, and even YouTube? So today I want to do an early look of the math theory behind hex flipping Bitcoin. Now I'm assuming a bunch of things here. So remember that this is just we're playing around with numbers a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit about this topic because I ran some numbers. I love to run the calculator on my smartphone or on my computer to sort of see how close is this? Is it getting closer? Oh yes. And since we know there's so much manipulation in this industry, I wanted to run some numbers that probably is a little bit more accurate and closer to reality. So we kind of know that a lot of volume with Bitcoin probably is fake and with a lot of other cryptos, but in this video I want to mainly focus on Bitcoin. And we also know that like there's so much stuff that can be faked with like how many coins are actually circulating in Bitcoin and how many coins are lost. I think around 4 million. And there's a lot of interesting numbers you can run to so we know that CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, they want to play their own games and kind of they put whatever numbers they want. And for example, they hate hex, so they put it at position 203. On CoinGecko, they put it on like position 4,000 or 5,000. So why can't I do a video trying to get a little bit closer to reality? And I found a pretty interesting number, and that is 31x. Now, what is 31x, you may wonder? Well, that is, let's run the math, okay? Let's run the math. So, um, we know, for example, first we know the price with Bitcoin is probably a bit higher price manipulated than what you actually would be able to get liquidity in if you would have a large sell order. So let's assume you have some larger sell orders, and let's say a lot of Bitcoins would be sold. Would it be able to be sold at the current price of 9K? Probably not. So let's play with the idea of 5K Bitcoin. And hey, 5K, we were down to $3,100 just a few weeks ago. And we also know that before the Plus token Ponzi pump, we were down to $3,200 per Bitcoin. And we know that Bitcoin price before the kind of hype pump into 2017, it was down to maybe $800 or something like that. So let's be generous, okay? Let's say 5K BTC. And let's remove a couple of coins that is not in circulation, Satoshi's coins and coins that kind of been lost with Bitcoin. And then we kind of get down to maybe 12 million BTC. Okay, so we have 12 million BTC at 5K. What kind of market cap would that bring us? So I'm gonna run the math here. So 5K times 12 million. Okay, 60 billion market cap. Now, what is the current market cap of Hex? Let's take a look. So if we go to hex.live at the moment, so on hex.live at the moment, we can see that the circulating supply of Hex is 187.9 billion. So we can summarize it. We can round it up to 188 billion circulating Hex. That brings the market cap of $927 million, almost at a billion. Now, let's just round it up to a billion. Let's see, how much is that? How much in theory would that be of 60 billion? Let's see. So if we go to, there's a cool website called calculator.net, and if I put in 60 and let's put in 1 and then 60 in the other one, was it 60 or was it like $66 billion? No, 60 billion. So how much would 1 billion be of 60? So it's 1.66%. So in some ways, if you would run this math here, you could say that Hex almost is, or at least it's above 1% already of BTC, which is fairly interesting. So what would it take? And of course, we know that Hex has new coins coming out in this AA launch phase. So we know it's kind of halfway through, and I ran the math a few days ago, how many coins would be in circulating supply on November 19th, 2020, and that was 376 billion coins. So let's run the math a little bit quick. What would that be? 376 billion coins times the current market price, which is 0.0049 494. That brings us to 1.8 billion. So what is 1.8 billion? 1.8 billion, 1.85 billion of 60, that would bring us up to 3% of Bitcoin's more honest market cap, I would say, which is like, and that's only from the new coins coming in. That doesn't even add in any price pumps. So 3% already over there of Bitcoin. Now, this is kind of funny, right? Because it started off as this small, innocent little thing. So Hex started off at, I remember seeing it first at $50 million. $50 million. And then it quickly went up to $100 million, $200 million, $500 million, and then like $1 billion. And now we're only looking at circulating coins. It's not even the total supply counting in the locked coins. So it's very interesting. So that it's already at, if we would play with that idea of 60 billion market cap of BTC, which I think is more honest if you would try to sell more coins. So it's like, so that it already is at like 1.66% of BTC halfway through the launch phase in 6 months. I think that's pretty interesting to look at. And 3% on November 19th, 2020, if you had the same price and same kind of coins coming out in circulating supply. 3%, that is a big deal. And then we can already count the math here. So if we would take 100% BTC market cap and divide it by 3%, yes, we get to around 33x. 33x, 31x. When I did this math earlier, it was 31x. But I think the price was a little bit higher then. So then from that on, it would only take a 31x pump, which 31x is still a big deal. But it's like, okay, so it would only then take a 31 or a 33x pump to get up to 60 billion. So if we would take, let's take 60 billion, 60 billion market cap and divided by 376 billion coins of Hex, if it would come out in circulating supply at the same rate as it is doing right now, that would bring us to 15 cents, or almost 15 or 0.159. So you can round it up to 16 cents. Let's round it up to 16 cents. This means that 16 cents Hex would have a market cap of 60 billion. And if you actually would run the honest math, or if we play the math of 5k BTC, and we know BTC very, very fast can go down to 5k again, because that was where it was before the 2019 plus token Ponzi. that own 1% of Bitcoin at the moment. So if BTC would go down to 5K or maybe even 3K again, this would go even faster. But yeah, 31x, 33x. This math here, if you take the exact math of 15 with the current price, so 0.159 and divide it by the current price of 0.00494. Okay, at the moment it would be a 32x, but it's but a little bit earlier when it was 0.05. So when I did this math, it was 0.005, and that would bring it to only needing a 31.91x to get up to that place. And it's kind of funny because when I ran the math a few months ago, it was like, okay, to pass BTC, you would need like a 2000x, and that sounded pretty big of a challenge. But now it's only like a 31.9x. And a 30x, I mean, sure, it is a lot, but it's like in a global kind of landscape with like global economics, and everyone can like tune in to a decentralized network at any time and like put something in. I mean, a 31x, it can happen. As I ran the math earlier, and it was like, okay, you only need like to go from here to 1 cent. It only takes $7 million. Only $7 million, and some ICOs in this some ICOs in this kind of industry have gotten 1 billion. And it's like, okay, and it only takes $7 million to push X to 1 cent. It's pretty interesting, you know. So yeah, I mean, if you just run the math, 31x, 32x, 33x, at those prices, it kind of would be at around 60 billion market cap. And already right now, with the hex, if you look at the current, position it has, it's top 20 crypto. In March, it was top 100 crypto, and now it's top 20 crypto. It's 5x its position in a very, very short amount of time. And it seems like it would just keep on doing this because of how the share price is kind of designed, that you have these fundamentals where you get more shares if you get in earlier and stake longer. But of course, still, nobody knows, no expectations, the project is complete, it all can go to zero. But I don't see that happening. Like, I don't see how this would go to zero. So yeah, I mean, 31x. People probably think it would take way more. People probably think that Bitcoin is way more ahead. But when you run the math, 1.66% already at 60. If you would count the 60 billion market cap, if you assume some stuff, if you assume some people would want to sell more, and if we try to remove as much scam nonsense as possible, which obviously, just because Plus token used so much shady money, and used real and did real scams on people, it probably is good to count the BTC a little bit lower to try to get a little bit more accurate data. And we also seen it with the Bitcoin price, how it went like very quick from like 10K to down to $1,800. So we know that like it doesn't take that much up here to like dump the price super fast. And as I said, I mean, it even went lower than 5K, like $3,800 just a couple of months ago. So I think it's a pretty good estimate to have it at around 5K per BTC if you would have like large sell orders and so on. So yeah, it's very, very interesting, to be honest. Like, and now I think even I am very modest here because Because stuff like XRP, if that could pump to $3 on a DLT product, that is way worse than Hex. I mean, what can Hex do? I'm only talking 15 cents here. 15 cents for a 31x pump. Very, very interesting. And you also have other very, very interesting stuff that I don't think any of the mainstream is inside. I don't think any major, or like we have like one big ETH origin adder as well that kind of started this pump here. But that's only one guy. Like there is a lot of whales in this world that are not at the moment into Hex or even know that it exists, because CoinMarketCap and you have all these gatekeepers like CoinGecko, and I talked about them a little bit in other videos, like who are the main bad actors that are trying to suppress and gatekeep Hex, and those are kind of holding this industry back, which is kind of horrible. And even like Cointelegraph, they say they are about the future of money, are not really about the future of money. They barely cover Hex at all. They're not doing a good job at all. So if you wouldn't have these bad actors, Hex probably would already be top 10 crypto. So it's a very fun project to follow, to be honest. It is the most exciting thing 2020 in crypto, to follow Hex, to and it's very interesting to see how other people can't grasp the simple concepts of, yes, trustless interest is actually the best thing to do. If you are designing a crypto, it should be the first thing you design it to have, trustless interest. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Fun to run some math to see, to try to and remember, it's just a math experiment, trying to get closer to the truth and reality of things, because all these other actors that track a lot of data, they don't seem to be doing a good job. When I look at the volume of Bitcoin on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, it doesn't seem like it is actually that real. While with Uniswap and Hex, you can go and expect the trades, you can go and see it on chain, and it seems like that is way more honest than how these other guys are measuring data. And also how I then also see how CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap and all these other bad actors, how they're trying to hold Hex back. And it seems like they're doing that out of fear, because they know that Hex is going to become the #1 crypto in the whole world for the 2020 decade. And it seems like they do not like this. Even though like they can make money with this probably, if they would be smart and use their brain and use their intelligence. But it seems like they do not want to do that. Yeah, so that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Have a great day, DTube library and YouTube. Bye bye.